Hey everyone, it's Sikta. I'm a junior doctor based in Australia, and today I'm going to be talking about locuming as a junior doctor. It's something that it really isn't talked about much, and I just thought it'd be cool to show some insight as to what a locum junior doctor can do and what our scope is in practice. So, for those of you who don't even know what locuming is essentially ad hoc positions all across the country that are advertised that we can basically take for medical roles, and they're stratified based off of your position. So for me, I'm PGY2, so I primarily take junior house officer roles and SHO roles, just because I'm comfortable with practicing up to that scope. Someone's calling me. Give me a second. My apologies for that. As you can tell, work never stops, and you can't continue filming YouTube videos when you actually have work obligations. For me personally, it's been a really good way to explore different roles and different interests and sort of get to travel the country as well. I've been able to visit Cairns and work at their hospital there, and it just gives you a bit of insight as to how different health services are and how different hospitals work. So it's a really great non-committal way of getting a taste of medicine across the country while traveling. So I personally think it's a win-win situation. For me as a junior house officer, what my roles and responsibility on a normal shift is basically doing reviews for patients of concerns, putting in cannulas, doing any med recharts, and being the first responder to a scene in the case someone is deteriorating. So essentially what your role would be as a JHO, just with a bit more autonomy. Call number 2. Thanks so much. All right, bye. Okay, so I need to get back to work, but essentially what I'm actually going to go review, and the patient that I'm going to go review, is someone who has potentially aspirated, is desatting, is tachypneic, and I just need to work him up and basically see if he needs to stay on the ward or go to ICU. So yeah, stay tuned. So I just got back from reviewing that patient who had a met call for tachypnea and hypoxia, and luckily he's doing really well. Was actually fast asleep when I reviewed him, which is great. I just reviewed his bloods and his chest x-ray. It seemed like he had a bit of lower lobe opacification, but it seems like it was his baseline, and he's had that for a couple of months, so it wasn't really too sinister or too concerning. But yeah, so I'm just gonna sit up in the doctor's lounge, which isn't the most glamorous area, but I'm just gonna sit here until my next call, get some study done, and fingers crossed it's not too hectic of a shift. So I've just been asked to review a patient who's had a troponin leak of 143, which is actually really high. And for those of you who don't know what troponin is, it's basically a cardiac marker which can be indicative of a heart attack, essentially. So I'm gonna go see this patient, figure out what's going on, and yeah, fingers crossed she's not deteriorating. All right, so things actually got really hectic over the past half an hour. I went to go review this patient with a trop leak. She was actually normal, but then we had a met call, 2 met calls actually, and one was for a lady who was just persistently hypertensive, so I had to deal with her. And there was just someone else who was just desatting. Anyways, things just went from 0 to, 60 pretty fast. But it just goes to show that your shift really can just be so unpredictable. Every single day, you really have no idea when things are going to turn a corner and something presumably cruisy just gets pretty crazy. Anyways, I have my din over here, and yeah, just gonna have some food. Might as well show you what dinner looks like. So I think I was supposed to get chicken. Yeah, so here's some chicken with an entire potato, some carrots, and some dessert. I'll take that. I'm finally done my shift, but I forgot to give my deck phone back, so I'm gonna run and quickly give this thing back, and I'll give you guys an update on what my shift was like. Okay, so I'm finally done my shift. Luckily, didn't need to take my deck phone with me because I had brought it all the way to my car, and the last thing you want is the reminder of your deck phone right next to you at home. Trust me, you don't want it. Anyways, the remainder of the shift was a little bit busy with patient reviews, medication reviews, and just a few assessments, but nothing crazy. It is 10 o'clock. I'm excited to go home. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a good sneak peek of what a locum shift is like. It's honestly the same as what you would expect as a junior house officer, but you have a bit more autonomy. I apologize. This video is shaking because I'm trying to multitask because I really want to get on the road. But yeah, it really is, a bit more autonomy. You are in a bit more in charge of, seeing your own patients, making your assessments, and really escalating appropriately. I feel like we're just way more supported and babied in the public sector, but I think with locuming, the onus is on you as to your clinical judgment and what you do. So yeah, it's just that clinical responsibility that you have, but I think that's more fun. I think you get to use your brain more, do more medicine, and learn more. I saw gases today that really made no sense to me, but that was a good learning point for me because I could read up on it and, know more about different respiratory failures. So yeah, there you go. Anyways, I want to go home. It's 10 o'clock. I am tired. Anyways, catch you later.